Hey, sexy, lovely people. Here we go. Issue 90, the final issue for Warhammer Imperium. Right, we'll look at that in a mo. Let's put that down there. Issue 90. Illuminor Szeras arrives. Detailed build and paint guide. The campaign concludes. So we get our black section CHQ for Necrons. Master Technologist, a cryptech of vast intellect and ambition, Illuminor Szeras seeks the secret of life itself and ascend to true godhood. I feel that perhaps a lot of this could be, a lot of his aggression could be avoided if somebody gave him a copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Anyway, how to build. There we go. So yeah, this is another one where there's lots of tiny little pieces. So just be careful as you clip from the sprues and how you sand and remove mould lines. I mean, even the rubble is multi-part. So there you go. I do particularly like the fact that he is there draining the soul out of some poor sap that he's impaled on the end of his spear. That looks good. Right, and then we're painting. So nice. Obviously there's a lot of standard. I'll obviously paint him mostly in line with my Necron colour scheme anyway. But they're giving you a nice little tutorial for doing the blending down to the victim. So that's quite nice. I like that. I may use, for that particular part, I may use that little tutorial there. So, yep, there you go. Some what could be some sort of imperial nobleman, possibly. Getting the soul drained out of him. That's pretty cool. I like the fact it's just coming out the top of his head. That's cool. Anyway, there you go. That looks groovy. Nicely done. And then your final gallery for this character. Illuminor Szeras. Illuminor Szeras has an 8-inch move. This is 3+ weapon skill, 3+ ballistic skill, 6 strength, 6 toughness, 7 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10 and a 3-up save. Illuminor Szeras is equipped with Eldritch Lance, impaling legs. Your army can only include one Illuminor Szeras model. Eldritch Lance shooting, 36 inches, assault D3, strength 8, -4 AP, D6 damage. Eldritch Lance melee. Strength user, AP 4, strength -4. Get it right. Right, start again. Strength user, AP -4. And damage 2, and then impaling legs are strength user, AP -2 and damage 1. Each time the bearer fights, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon. Okay, so I'm assuming then that its attacks go up to 6. Nice. Tutorial, empiric overcharger, psychic tests, etc. Mechanical augmentation. Right, campaign 11, the final campaign, assault on the pylon. In the heart of Kajalma's skulls, irradiated mountain ranges, an obsidian pillar rises from beneath the planet's crust to pierce the heavens themselves. Scarabs and other canoptic constructs swarm across its jet black surface, completing their final construction efforts, aligning its spire to the precise specifications of their cryptech masters. Soon its warp dampening effects will blanket the Ramses system, spreading the malaise of the stilling yet further across the Imperium. Necrons, defend the resonator. The objective is simple: face down the Imperial assault and prevent the humans from shattering the pylon before it can be activated. To this end, the remaining Sarachan forces have been recalled to Kajama's Skull, forming a defensive perimeter before the pylon and preparing for the Imperium's last desperate assault. Final assault for the Imperiums. Months of ceaseless fighting have led to this moment. The surviving Imperial forces converge upon the Noctilith pylon. To reach the structure, they must break through the formidable Necron defensive line, resist the debilitating effects of the contra-Empiric nexus, and topple the obsidian pylon. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't pronounce words. Campaign mission. So 85 power to the Necrons, 100 power to the Imperial forces. Mission briefing. Almost complete the Noctilith pylon looms over the battlefield. It must be destroyed if the Ramsus system is to be rescued from the clutches of the Silent King. Noctilith pylon. So the Noctilith pylon has effects, and battle round 1 it's -1 to leadership, battle round 2 is -1 to move, 3 is -1 to advance and charge, and round 4 is -1 attacks, and 5 is -1 toughness. Noctilith pylon, as the game progresses, the pylon edges closer to completion and the attacker's army suffers the following effects. These effects are cumulative, so that would be why the Necrons are only fighting with 85 power. So we're playing with, obviously, with all 4 of the Power Grade battle mats. We're deploying on either long board edge, and we have 6 objective markers on the battlefield. So there you go. Congratulations, you have completed the Warhammer 40,000 Imperium collection and taken your first steps into the wider world of Warhammer hobby. An exciting future of collecting, painting and gaming awaits. And poverty. Let's face it, if you're a 40k player, poverty is parcel of collecting your miniatures. Right, let's bring this down. Let's have a look. All joking aside, let's have a look at the plastic. So here we go. It's a 2020 sculpt again, and there's a lot on this. I do like this guy, this poor fella that's having the life sucked out of him here. We've got our lance, which seems to have, I don't know if you can see, it looks like it's got this additional kind of like injector needle, which I'm assuming is what is used to suck the life force out of his victims. There's the face for our nobleman, imperial agent or whatever. I'm just trying to see if I can find Szeras's head. I can't see it. Oh, there we go. There it is. So that's Szeras's head. It's got a long pharaoh kind of metallic beard attached to his chin. So yeah, all cool, all pretty good. Nice miniature. Like I said, there's a lot of tiny little parts like this armature here. So not only are you going to need to be careful clipping this out, but when you come to painting, you're going to need to be careful with these tiny, because you know, even just the force of the brush can break some of these tiny parts. I've done it, especially with these Necrons, because they quite often have like spindly little attachments and like little mini armatures like a T-Rex has coming out the front. So yeah, they need a bit of care on some occasions. If you're painting on if you've done your primer and then you're putting a base coat on, just be careful. I get a bit heavy-handed, and some on some of my other Necrons, like tiny little spindly things like this have broken and I've had to glue them back on with super glue. Some of them, where I've been able to, I have pinned with a piece of paper clip, but others, you know, I just have to glue it back on and hope for the best. There you go. Come back and we shall build him. Okay, let's build Illuminor Szeras, shall we? We're starting off with a sub-assembly, so we're going to want the spine and then parts 3 and 2. Now, I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to get these around the right way. So, looks like that's how it goes together. Oops. Right. I'm going to try something. It'll probably go horribly wrong, but we'll give it a go anyway. Let's have a look-see. Now, these hips do join together. They are keyed. So they join together like that, and then there's a receptacle that's it. So potentially it's looking good. We then have his little segmented loincloth that goes on the front here. So it is keyed. It should go together and kind of like be seamless. So you do need to make sure that you've got the hips set close enough at the front. So I'm going to recommend just hanging on to that for a spell. I'm just going to set that aside slightly to dry. What I'm going to move on to is there's a couple of little sub-assemblies. So the first one is building up part of the base. So this bit goes together like so. And then we have this leg that joins on there. Kind of hoping that you can't hear the strimmer or whatever it is that my neighbour's doing. And then there's another leg which locates into here. So I'm going to do that, and the reason I'm going to do that is because rather than glue it to the hip and then put it in, is because I can I can offer the hip up to it, and I think that's the back. So these are the back legs here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in one bit of glue in these two bits, so a bit there, and then these are keyed. They're little triangles, so their positioning should be really firm, no messing about. That's how they should go in. And there we go. Right, so I'm now going to add in this leg, which was a front leg. And there's multiple points of contact with this mini and the base. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on these pelvic armour plates by the look of it. And we're popping these on from the back, and these have little holes and pins, so they should locate really easy. So interesting, I've really had to mess about here and try and find out where these locate, but what we have is we have a notch at the front, we have a pinhole towards the rear, there's a little pin towards sort of like midway along the hips here, and then there's this pin at the back. And those are the contact points for this hip armour. So literally just going in like so. And that's how that's going to look. So it's more towards the back of the pelvis there than the front. Took me a little minute to figure that out. It was a bit of a pain in the arse. Now, what we have next is the spinal piece coming in. And I think we're lining up like so, so that this cable comes to the left side of the head. Next bit, we have got two pieces that are going to mount onto the side here, and I'm just trying to figure out how that goes. So I think one piece, so it goes kind of like that. So there's one, and then on the other side two. Then the face. Come on, why aren't you? So that pin goes in there, and then, okay, right. So that's the face on, and then we have a cable. Now, this cable goes in there, But what I might do is wait until the arms are on, because I think part of that is going to be connecting to the arms, and we are literally, the arms are going to be this one. This one's going to go in the front, and this one. So what I might do, tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this slightly easier on myself. Glue that onto there, because that is fairly robust fit. So match up the hand, bingo. And then apparently these go into this first set of sockets here. Or do they? Well, one arm does. And the other one looks like it goes, so it looks like one goes into this lower socket on this side, this one goes into the higher socket on the opposite side. That is what it is looking like according to the destructions. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this cable in. Let me just see if I can. So finally done it, and what the cable does is it connects in there and it comes around the back and it joins into this power orb at the back. I don't think I've seated my armour plate here properly because there's a slight gap in this, but this is where it goes. Alrighty then, now fiddly little bits coming up. We have this arm and hand, and looking at this, that's going to go together like so on that piece, like thus. Then we have this piece, and I'm looking at this, it goes that way round by the look of it. Trying to work out exactly how that goes in. That's in. Right, then, and I have broken this, so I'm going to have to glue it a little bit. Then this goes on. Here. So there's slight keying to how this goes on. It looks like it goes on there. And where's that bit gone? There it is. This bit I broke off, which just seems to go here. Now I broke this off doing cleanup. So these are really fragile pieces. So that's one arm. The next one is 17 and 18, and this is looking like that. So that's the back of the hand, I think. These are going to be really, really fragile when it comes to painting. So I think that goes on like so. Okay, so those are those two arms. Now, these two arms will locate into these recesses here. So that's the first one that goes in there. Like thus. And what I'm going to do is, actually no I'm not, I'm going to hang on for a sec. I'll put the other arm in, which goes in there. Let's do it this way. So this is going to be awkward. So that's the position. If you can see, that needs to be in. Right, then not going to mess about too much with these. I've already built one side up. But we've got some armour plates which just go as part of the carapace on there. So there's one. And then these are actually built up from two pieces. So you just locate your piece in, and it should, the other one, when I did the other one, located quite firmly, so that one, that feels like it there. So trunk. And then this, again, locates on there. Like so. And in actual fact, this is supposed to come down here by the look of it, like that. So that comes down there like so. See that? Right. Then we have this piece going in here, and this should meet up with this cable on the arm. And that is the Szeras character done. Come back and we'll build his victim. Final bits. Right, so we are sticking our Imperial victim onto this way round. Okay. And then we have this leg which locates yeah, I mean, I'm not being funny, but these instructions aren't the best. So, like thus. Like so. Then we have the front and his face, which are going on like that. Like so. And then this hand so again, just trying to locate the correct way round. For this, that's not it. That looks to be the right way round. Just making sure the thumb's orientated correctly. Like so. So that's supposed to be joined up in some way. No, there's supposed to be a bit that goes and joins up there, which joins those bits together. Now this goes into the leg, into the hip socket there, like that. And I'm thinking that is how it goes. So we're looking at gluing down the pieces on the base. So just making sure that we are fully contacted and down on the base. So 1, 2, right. So yeah, there's a lot of fiddly bits on this. There's a lot of bits on this which need to marry up like long after you've done a first bit, and that they're in kind of like, if you're out by just a millimetre, it's going to throw things out really badly. My recommendation would be, when you come to build the victim here, don't glue this arm into position until you've glued these two bits together, because they need to come together and join. And that you have done that, and then you can marry up, because it's all supposed to join down the bottom here. I don't know if this is supposed to join to anything. It kind of like goes up here. Do you know what? I'm going to just stick it to the palm, just for added security, really. So I'm just going to stick that to the on there, like so. But yeah, that's Szeras. He's complicated, and the things that make him complicated are all the little swirls and extra bits that you need to make sure marry up. So yeah, just when you're doing it, lots of dry fitting, and which I didn't do, and hopefully you'll have a finished product. All right, speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.